He was not even born when Nigeria's first coup was staged some 50 years ago, but for Hassan Ahmed Danbaba, the Magajin Garin Sokoto, kingmaker of the Sokoto Caliphate and grandson of one of the most prominent victims of that coup, the legacy will linger forever.
In the evening, after everybody had left, they were seated in the house. They just had some gunshots. The lights were cut off, and it was really dark.
On that fateful day in January 1966, as the evening sun was ending its slow slide towards the horizon, the military struck. His grandfather, Sir Ahmad Bello, the Sardaunar of Sokoto and Premier of Nigeria's northern region, was assassinated by a group of young idealistic army officers who overthrew Nigeria's democratic government in a violent military coup. The man who led the operation and personally shot Sir Ahmad Bello was Major Chukwuma Nzorgu.
Nzorgu could not even recognize Sardaunar because it was in the dark. He was roaming up and down looking for him. They were all seated because he didn't know where Sardaunar was seated. Then eventually Sardaunar said, "Come, this is Ahmad Bello." So he brought out his gun in front of his entire family. He fired a shot. One of his servants came and stood in front of him. He killed the servant first. He brought out a gun. He shot again. He killed his first wife, Hassan. May Allah be pleased with her. He eventually shot Sardaunar on the head.
The officers who staged the coup were mostly Christian Southerners from the Igbo ethnic group, and they assassinated several Muslim Northerners, including Sir Ahmad Bello and the Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Major Chukwuma Nzorgu, the charismatic officer who hatched the plan, unwittingly rewrote Nigeria's political history. In this interview in 1966, he recalls what happened.
We fired the first few shots of anti-tank gun into the building. The whole roof was blown up and the place was set alight. Then we went to the rear of the house and started searching from room to room until we found him amongst the women and children, hiding himself. So we sort of took away the women and children and took him.
I'll hold Nzorgu responsible because he was the one that brought out his gun and shot at him. So of course he's the one responsible. He was the one that pulled the trigger.
The assassinations left a deep divide in Nigeria's complex ethnic and religious mix. Today, 50 years later, the Sardaunar's grandson acknowledges that there is still bitterness in the north, but he takes the view that bruises will mend and that regret is a pointless sentiment because the past cannot be changed.
Well, you see, we are Muslims. We believe in birth, we believe in death. We believed even if Nzorgu did not kill him, he was not going to pass that particular day. So we took it in good faith. Allah brought Sardaunar, he contributed his quota, and Allah took him away.
50 years after the events of 1966 and the assassination of one of northern Nigeria's most eminent sons, times have changed. There are new political platforms, and the bitter hostility that existed between Nigeria's ethnic groups appears to be less scathing. But bruises there still are. And for Magajin Garin Sokoto, the grandson of the late Sir Ahmad Bello, the bloody assassination of his famous grandfather is one event that'll shadow him for the rest of his life.
You can imagine when you're being confronted in front of your family and you are being shot in their presence. You can remember that thing will remain in their memory forever.
Charles Onyegolu, Arise News, Abuja, Nigeria.